doubt some noble creature in her. Dashed all to pieces! No, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done. In thee. I have with such provision in mine art so safely ordered that there's no soul, no, not so much perdition as a hair beats into any creature in the vessel, which thou heardest cry, which thou sawest sleep. Sit down, for thou must now know farther. Thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou was my daughter. And thy father was the Duke of Milan, and thou his only heir and princess. No worse issue.
Oh, that's it! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was it we did?
Both. Both, my lord. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly hold hither. My sister, thy aunt, called Antonia. I pray thee mark me, that a sister should be so perfidious. She, who next thyself of all the worlds I loved, and to her the manager of my state, thy false aunt. Dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being once perfected, how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping. She confederates with the Queen of Naples, who being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my sister's suit, which was that she should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom and confer fair Milan with all the honors on my sister. Whereon, a treacherous army levied, one midnight faded to the purpose, did Antonia open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness did the ministers for the purpose hurry thence me and thy crime son.
Alack, pity! Wherefore did they not, that hour, destroy us?
My tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea where they prepared a rotting carcass of a boat. Not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast. Very rats instinctively acquitted.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim now was set to preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven, when I have decked the sea with drops full of salt, under my burthen groan, which raised in me an undergoing stomach, to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan Gonzalo, out of his charity, being an appointed master of this design, give us. Knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my due.
Well, I might but ever see that man. And now, oh, I pray you, sir, for still 'tis feeding in my mind. Your reason for raising this sea storm?
No, thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune. Now, my dear lady, have mine enemies brought to this shore? Here, cease small questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Approach, my Ariel, come. my spirit, perform to point the tempest that I made.
To every article, I boarded the Queen's ship. Now on the beak, now on the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Drunk with lightning, the precursor of the dreadful thunderclaps, what momentary in sight of running or not. The fire and cracks, the sulphur is roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege, and make his bold wings tremble, yea, his strength tried and shake.
My brave spirit.
All the mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel. Then all was fire with me. The Queen's son Ferdinand with hair upstaring. Then like reeds not hair. But the first man that leapt cried, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here."
Why, that's my spirit. But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. And as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isles. The Queen's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed, but there's more work.
Just wondering if there's anything I can get for 5 bucks.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pain, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed in me.
Is it thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out. No more.
I prithee remember, I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistaking, served without more French or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou liest, malignant thing! Hast thou forgot the vow which Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgotten?
No, sir.
This damned witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing, from our here thou knowest was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take to life. Is not this true?
I, sir.
This blue-eyed pale was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, was then her servant, and for thou was a spirit too delicate to act her earthly important commands, refusing her grand hest, she did confine thee into a cloven hind, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain a dozen years, in which case she died and left thee there. Then was this island, save for the sun she did litter near a fertile volcano, not honored with the human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Don't think I say so! He, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest what torments I did find thee in. Thy groans should make fools howl and penetrate the breasts of ever angry bears. It was mine art when I arrived and heard thee, the maid gave the pine and let thee out.
Unbid thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's noble, master. What shall I do? Say what shall I do?
Go make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape and hither come it. Go! Hence with diligence! Awake, dear heart, awake! Thou hast slept well! Awake!
The strangeness of your story, but the heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, a slave who never yields his kind answer.
He's a villain, sir. I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho! Slave! Caliban!
There's wood enough within!
Come forth, I say, there's other business this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath on.
This island is mine! My cigarettes! My mother, which thou takest from me, when thou camest first. Thou strokest me, madest much of me, wouldst give me water, berries in it. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the iron, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren places, and fertile. Curse me, I did so. And here you stand in this hard rock, as you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most like slave, strength may move, not kindness. I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh, what have I done? Thou didst prevent me. I have people else this isle with caladans.
I pity thee. Took pains to make thee speak. Taught thee each hour one thing or other.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse.
Hence! Go fetch the same field and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business. If thou neglectest or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll wrap thee with gold crowns, fill all my throats with eggs, make thee roll on a beach shall tremble as I did.
No, pray me! Must obey with arms of such power.
So slave, hence!
Remember my drowned mother. This is no mortal business, nor no sound of the earth knows. I hear it now above me.
The fringed curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is it? Spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a grave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No! Wait! It eats and sleeps and has such senses as we have. Such. This gallant which thou seest was in the wreck.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw, so. Noble.
It goes on, I see as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Oh, you wonder if you be made or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly made.
A word, good sir. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
No! Why speaks my father so unfriendly? This is the third man that e'er I saw. The first that e'er I sighed for. No! Pity, move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if your affection's not gone forth, I'll make you the queen of Tempest.
One word more. I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself on this island as a spy, to win it from me, the Lord, on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple.
Follow me Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Follow! No!
I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power!
No! Dear father, it's not to wrath the trial of him, for he is gentle and not fearful.
Put thy sword up, traitor.
Entreat you, father!
Hence! And not on my garments!
Sir! Have pity! I'll be the jury.
Obey! Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits is in a dream or all bound up. My eyes, the weakness which I feel, the wreck of all my friends, nor this man's threats to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this many? All corners else of the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
It works. Come. Thou hast done well, quiet Ariel. Follow me! Hark, thou hast told you.
Be of comfort. My father is of a better nature, sir, than he appears by speech.
Thou shalt be free as mountain winds within exactly to all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow! Speak not for him.
Beseech you, my lady, be merry, you have cause. So have we all. Joy for our escape as much beyond our wants.
Peace. She receives comfort like a cold porridge. The visitor will not give her over so. Oh, look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs, rotten ones.
Or as were perfumed by a fan.
Here is everything advantageous to life.
True! Save means to live.
But that they're not, or brittle.
How lush and lusty the grass looks. How green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye, green it.
This is not much.
No, he does but mistake the truth totally.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as if we were first in Africa at the marriage of the Queen's fair daughter Claribel to the King of Tunis.
His word is more than a miraculous heart.
He hath raised the wall, and houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son an apple,
And sowing the kernels of it in the seed, bring forth more islands.
Ah!
Why, in good time.
My lady, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as we were in Tunis at the marriage of your daughter who is now queen.
You cram these words into my ears against the stomach of my sense! And I never married off my daughter there. For coming thence, my son is lost. And Margaret, she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I never again shall see her. Oh, thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hath made this meal on thee?
Had I plantation of this isle, my lady, and were the king on't, what would I do? In the Commonwealth, I would, by contraries, execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I miss. No name of magistrate, letters shall not be known. Riches, poverty, and use of service, none. No occupation, all men idle. All. And women too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it. The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
sweat, or endeavor, treason, felony, sword, height, knife, gun, or need of any engine, would I not have? But nature should bring forth of its own kind, all poisons, all abundance, to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among his subjects?
None, woman. All idle. Whores and knaves.
I would, with such perfection, govern my lady, to excel the golden age.
God save his majesty! Long live Gonzalo!
And do you mark me, my lady?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
No, I warned you. I will not venture my discretion so weakly. Were you laugh me to sleep? Or I feel very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
Strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth not then our island sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastiana? Oh, what might! No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown drop upon thy head.
Well, prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter for me, and a burden deep which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, madam, although this lord of weak remembrance, this, who shall be of his little memory when he is earned, hath here almost persuade the queen of her sons alive? 'Tis as impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
We all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act, whereof what's past is prologue, what's to come in yours and mine discharge.
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True! And look how well my garments sit upon me, much fleeter than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
For your conscience.
Aye, madam, where lies that? 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candid be they, and melt, ere they lust. Here lies your sister, no better than the earth that she lies upon. If she were that which now she's like, that's dead. Whom I with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, whilst you doing thus to the perpetual wake, for I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not have greater course. For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou wast Milan, I'll come by Naples. Huh? Draw thy sword! One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the queen, shall love thee.
Draw together. And when I rear my hand, do thee the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
But on forward!
My master, Rubazar, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, or else his project dies, to keep them living.
Well, you do here snoring lie, open like conspiracy, his time to take. If of life you keep a cashing off my miraculous wake awake, then let us both be seven.
Now can I
with this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground and let's make further search for my poor son.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done.
So, Queen, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on Prosper fall and make him by each meal a disease. His spirits hear me, yet I needs must curse for every trifle they set upon me. No! Here comes the spirit of Innocent to torment me for being wounded slowly. All flat, perchance he will not find me.
Oh, here's either bush or shrub to bear up any weather at all. Oh, and another storm brewing. I hear it sing in the wind. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell, a kind not of the newest port, John. A strange fish, legged like a man, and his fins like arms. Huh. Oh! Warm! Oh, my drum! I do now let loose my opinion. Hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an island that has lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
Master of the squadron, the boatswain and I, the governor and his mates, love them all, Megan, Marion, and Marjorie. But none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, "Go hang!" She loved not the savor of tar nor of pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her where'er she did. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang! This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. But here's my comfort. Do not torment me! This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs who have got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief. He shall taste of my bottle. Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking.
Aren't you know that voice? It should be. But he's drowned. Oh, and these are devils. Oh, defend me.
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. And his backward voice
is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help save you. Come! Amen! I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy! This is a devil and no monster! I believe him!
Stefano! If thou beest, Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeared, my good friend Trinculo.
Wilt thou be a Trinculo? Come forth! I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. Invent Trinculos.
These be fine things indeed, and if they be not spirits, that's a brave god! And their celestial liquor, I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Well, swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree, with my own hands, since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
So sure, man. Like a duck. I'm gonna swim like a duck. I'll be sworn.
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee!
But this is right. This is a very shallow monster. I have fear of him.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island. I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on then, kiss.
The poor monster's a drink, an abominable monster.
I'll bring thee to the freshest springs. I'll plant thee berries. I'll fish for thee, and give thee wood enough. Like upon the tyrant of my stir. Bear here no more sticks. But follow thee, thou wondrous man.
I prithee now, lead the way, without any more talking. Trinculo, the queen and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo will fill him by and by again. Oh brave monster, lead the way.
Farewell, master! Farewell, farewell! No more damsel, nor fish, nor printing, craving, nor great ginger, no more
This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me, as odious. But the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. Oh, she's 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. God! My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work and says such baseness had better like executor. I forget. But these sweet thoughts to even refresh my labors. Most busy lest when I do it.
Arise now, pray you! We're not so bored! I was the lightning and burnt up those logs that you were going to pile. Pray, set it down and rest you! When this burns, I will bleed for having wearied you. My father is hard at study. Pray now, rest yourself. Be safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress. The sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you set it down, I'll bear your logs to life. Pray, give me that. Yeah. I'll carry it to the pile. Oh. You look wearily.
No, noble mistress. 'Tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might keep it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda? Oh, my father! I have broke your heads to say so!
Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration. Oh, you so perfect and so peerless are created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remember, save from my glass, mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad, I am skilless of. But by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you.
Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake, am I this patient logman.
Do you love me?
I, beyond all corner of what else in the world to love, prize, honor you.
No! I am a fool to weep at what I am not of. I am your wife. You will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow, you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, I, thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
I, with a heart as willing as bondage ere of freedom, here's my hand.
And mine, but I am forbidden! And now? Farewell. Till half an hour hence.
1,000,000!
So glad of this, as they I could not be, nor surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business at the table.
My noble lord, will thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Oh, Mary, will I? Kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath if thy greatness would revenge it on him, or I know thou darest, but this poor thing dare not.
Oh, that's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, yea, my good lord, I'll yield him thee asleep. There thou mayest knock a nail into his head.
Thou liest! Thou canst not!
What a pine is this? The scurvy patch. I do beseech thy greatness. Give him blows, and take his bottle from him.
Trinculo! Run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out the doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why? What did I? I did nothing. I'll go further off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest!
Do I so? Well, take thou back! Now forward with your tail. Pray stand farther off. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee before, 'tis a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayest bring him, having first seized his books. Or, with a log, you can batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or you can cut his weasel with thy knife. Remember, first to possess his books, for without them he's not as soft as I am, nor hath not one spirit of his command. May all who hate him as rootedly as I burn but his books.
A monster? I will kill this man. I will be king. And Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Dost thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. I am sorry that I beat thee. But while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head, too.
Within this half hour will he be asleep? Wilt thou destroy him there?
Aye, on mine honor.
This will I tell my master.
Weak monster will follow.
I can go no further, my lady. By your patience, I needs must rest me.
Oh, Lord, I cannot blame thee, for myself attached with weariness, dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here I will put off my hope and keep it no longer from my flatterer. He's drowned. And thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land.
I'm right glad that she's so out of hope. Do not, for one repulse, forgo the purpose that you resolve to effect. The next advantage will we take thoroughly. Let it be tonight. For now they are oppressed with travel. They will not, nor cannot, use such vigilance as when they are oppressed. The next advantage will we take thoroughly.
See tonight? No more! What harmony is this? My good friends, hark!
Marvelous, sweet music.
Give us kind humorous heavens, what are these?
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes these are people of the island, who though they were of monstrous shape, yet no, their manners are more gentle, kind than of our human generation. You shall find many, nay, almost any.
Honest Lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than Tempest.
They've vanished, strangely. No matter, for they have left their minds behind, since we have stomachs. Well, please you taste of what is here. I will stand to and feed. Although my last, no matter, for I feel the best is past.
You are three women of sin, and on this island where man doth not inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live. I have made him mad, and even with such like valor, men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! Your swords are now too massive for your strengths and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you three from Milan did supplant Gord Prospero, exposed unto the sea, which hath acquitted him and his innocent child. For which foul deed the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all of the creatures against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonsia, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me, lingering perdition.
In the name of something holy, my lady, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous! Monstrous! Methought the bellows spoke and told me of it! The winds did sing it to me. And the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe pronounced Prosper! It did face my trespass. Therefore, my son, in youth, is bedded. I'll see him deeper than our plummet summoned within their lifeline. I'll be a second.
All three of them are desperate. They're killed like poison given to work a great time after now begins to bite the spirits. I'll follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to do.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of mine own life. Then, as my gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue, and long life with such love as 'tis now.
Barely spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What, Ariel? My industrious servant Ariel!
What would my noble master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows, your last service did worthily performed, and I must use you in such another trick. Go bring the rabble over whom I give thee power here to this place.
Presently,
I with a twink! I had forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of the plot is almost come. My son, our revels are now ended. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with the sleep. Sir, if you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose.
Oh, we wish your peace.
Come with the thoughts. I thank thee, Ariel, come.
what thy thoughts I cleave to, what's thy pleasure?
Ariel, we must prepare to meet with Caliban. Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking. So fun of valor that they smote the air, breathing in their faces. I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell. There, dancing up to the chins at the foul lake, or stacked their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain now still. Go bring these varlets here unto this place.
I go.
Devil. A born devil, on whose nature nurture can never stick. On whom my pains mainly taken. All lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all into roaring.
And the blind mortal may not hear of the call. We now are near his cell.
Monster! Your fairy, which you say is a
Harmless fairy!
has done little better than play the jack with us. Monster!
And you smell all horse piss. My nose is in great indignation.
So is mine! Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you!
Thou wert lost, monster!
Good right, Lord, please! Give me thy favor still, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. What? Speak softly?
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool.
There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss! Hey, my king!
Be quiet! Seest thou here? The mouth of the cell! No noise enter! Do that good business that will make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, for I thy footlicker.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts. Hey, mountain, hey!
Let not be hunted savage. At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labors end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. For a little, follow to me, sirs. this hour lie in my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly, to all my neighbors. Spirit. To myself. This king's me and myself present as I was sent to you. Go. I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and azure vault set roaring war. But this rough magic I here abjure. I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than it ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. The solemn air, and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, kill thy brains, now useless, boiled within thy skull. There stand, for you are spell-stopped. Fetch me the hat and rapier in my cell. Quickly, I shall dare not be free. all of them, and requiring my dukedom of thee, which perforce I know thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, who 3 hours since were wrecked upon this shore, where I have lost, how sharp one of its remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for it, my lady.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience as its past your cure.
My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite you with this good a thing. At least bring forth the wonder to content ye, as much as me my dukedom.
Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest love, I would not for the world.
Yes. For a score of kingdoms you can wrangle, and I would call it fair play. If this prove a vision of the island, one year's sun shall I twice lose. A most high miracle!
Those seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now all the blessings of a glad mother compass thee about. Arise and see how thou camest here! Oh, wonder! How many goodly creatures are there here? Oh, how beauteous mankind is! How great a new world that has such people in it!
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your twins cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Lady, she is mortal, but by immortal providence, she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my mother for her advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renowned but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life, and second parents. This lady can say to me.
I'm feeling wet! Or should have spoken of this. Look down, you God, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you that have trod forth the way which brought us hither.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace her heart that does not wish you for.
Be it so, amen. Oh, look, my lady, look, here is more of us. I prophesied that if a cow was on land, this fellow could not drown. What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our queen! Yes, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave on split, is tight and year and bravely rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Was it well done?
Bravely, my diligence. Thou shalt be free. Madam, my liege, do not infest your mind with the beating on the strangeness of this business. At pit leisure, which shall be shortly single, I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem probable of all these happened accidents. Till when, be cheerful and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free. Untie this fellow. How fares, my gracious lady? There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Every man should for all rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but fortune. Correctio, bully monster! Correctio!
If these be true spies, which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight!
Give me brave spirits indeed! How fine my master is! I am afraid he will chastise me.
Mark but the badges of these men, my ladies and lord. This demi-devil had plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness, I acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death!
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler? He's drunk now? Where had he gone? I'm sure you know. Ridiculous, really right. Where should they find this grand liquor that has gilded them? How camest thou in this pickle?
I've been in such a pickle since last I saw you, that I fear me will never out of my bones. I shall not fear fly blowing.
Why, how now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I am not Stefano, but a cramp.
You be king of the Isle, sirrah.
I should have been a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing as e'er I looked on.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will! And I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace! What a thrice noble ass was I! To take this drunkard for a god? And worship this dumb fool?
Go to, away. My queen, in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptials of these our dear beloved solemnized. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my hero.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take years straight.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gale, and sail so expeditious I shall catch your royal fleet far off. My Ariel. Chick, that is thy charge. Then to the elements be free, and fare thou well.
My charms are all overthrown, and what strength I have's my own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true, I must be here, confined by you, or sent to Naples.